but it is here, and it is that time of the month to give you an update on just what is going on in the market. And it is going to be a lot more of the same, but I got a couple of extra stats that I think you're going to find interesting. So believe me, you're going to want to watch this whole video. You'll notice on the screen right now, I put this here on purpose. This is my website. For those of you that haven't seen it, it's robvanoteam.ca. And I will honestly tell you, this is one of the best websites that you're going to find for getting an idea of what's going on in the market. I made it so easy to search for properties with price ranges, county, towns, areas within the city. You'll love it. There's live help. So if you just really want to get information on what's going on, please visit this website. I think you'll be quite happy if you do. So these stats are, we look at these every month. And you'll see here we are, May 24, and we had on the MLS 3,092 sales, which is down slightly from May of 23. But you will notice that the total sales volume is actually up, but primarily because prices are up too. New listings, which is great to see, 4,033. So we're up 18.71% from May of 23. So that's good to see. The inventory, though, is still pretty tight. I mean, even though we're up 5.85%, 3,402 listings for a city of 1.5 million. That is not enough inventory. I'm sorry, like, this is ridiculous, and I just really hope that this changes here soon. 1.1 month supply of inventory, and to think that that's up 6.71%. Sales to new listings, 71.36%. So that's down a little bit. But look at the sale to list price. I mean, look at how many sold for over the asking price. So, of course, you're going to keep seeing that with only, inventory of 3,402 when you think that 3,092 sold. I mean, literally almost everything that was on the market sold. So there just still isn't enough inventory to go around. And that's why we saw from May of last year until now, our benchmark price, that's taking into account, everything, condos, everything, 9.52% increase in pricing. And the median price is up 10.95% at 562. So the median price just takes into account how many sold, above the average and how many sold below the average. So the benchmark price is a more accurate way of looking at the market. But any way you slice it, or any numbers you look at, I mean, our prices are rising because we just continually have a very strong demand and really not enough properties to go around. If we come over here, our year-to-date sales, so we're at 12,402. Now, last year, we did, I think it was just over 27,000 on the MLS. And keep in mind, this is not including new construction, because a lot of new construction is not on MLS. But that's, we're up 11.2% in volume sales so far for the year. So you can see that we're probably, the way it's looking, I would say we're probably going to hit pretty close to 30,000 sales on the MLS, which will be a record in Calgary if we actually get there. So let's drill down. You can see here on my screen, there's my team. They're all great people, by the way. Any one of them would be great to help you out. That's my phone number. You can reach me at, by the way, because when you watch these videos, a lot of times people don't text me. Well, you can text me questions. I mean, I don't even mind your feedback. I mean, it's great to get the feedback of the good and the bad and the ugly. Anyway, we're looking at condominium here first. So this is apartment condo, 81.81% absorption rate. So that's almost 82% of all the condos listed sold. So that is just a continuation of what we've been seeing. Our pricing, of course, went up 1.49% from April of 2024. We're up 14% from May of last year. So we have a benchmark price now in apartment condos of $340,500. And still, compared to Toronto, Vancouver, and some of these big markets, that's still pretty affordable. So that's not going to change. And we can see here there's 908 that sold out of 1,110. And so, like I said, if you look at last month, it was 951. So June, it most likely is going to be, I would probably suspect, a little bit better than May, because I will tell you, June is typically the month of the year that does the most business, primarily because people like to move when it's warm. And you can see here that the sweet spot, 40.86% of all the condos are between $300,000 and $400,000. And it just drops off a cliff when you go to $400,000 to $500,000. And, and of course, 200 to 300, you're just going to see this keep going down. As long as this market is tight, it's the same story. And you'll see this 400 to 500 will start to rise. This is really that simple mathematics. So this is row houses, townhouses, and, it's just the same story month after month. I mean, look at the last 12 months. It just doesn't change. I mean, the absorption rate, 127%. I mean, it's just the most demand product that's out there. And, we're now coming in at a benchmark price of 462,500. So that went up 1.65%. And we're up 18.44% from May of last year. It's pretty rich, but again, when you think of a townhouse condominium compared to big markets, that's still affordable. So it's probably going to keep going up for now, especially with this tight inventory. It's just not much to change there. 540, 424. So I mean, like everything that came on the market, it just sold. And I know I sold about 3 townhouses in the month of May, and they didn't take very long to sell. That's for sure. The demand is just really high, and I think townhouses are, they're a great product, right? Because they're the next best thing to a house, because a lot of them have basements, parking, upstairs, so they're the kind of property that people really like buying. There's that price point, 400 to 500, just every single month. It's just interesting how condos were 3 to 4, and here we are 4 to 5, and that's 40% of the market. And we saw an increase here, $500,000 to $600,000 townhouses. So as we rise, from 462, we're going to start creeping up on that $500,000 price point, and the 300 to 400 will just keep dropping, and that will become a thing of the past. So here we are in semi-detached, and I'm just blown away by this too. I mean, now 95.22% absorption rate. So just an incredible amount of demand there. And we hit a benchmark price of $678,000. So that's up 1.54% from April. And we're up 12.91% from May of 2023. And so this is just a continual demand for these as well. The 653,000 is the benchmark price for the year. 678 was the benchmark price for the month. So we're just skyrocketing upwards. 259 properties sold, 272 listed. So same situation as townhouses, almost everything sold. 17 days on the market. We're actually seeing a lot of offers being placed on these with no conditions at all in these competing offer situations, and that's just really making it challenging for people who are getting financing or really just want to do a little due diligence and do an inspection. I'm going to give you a word of advice. If you are looking at these properties and you really want to compete and you're considering going in with an unconditional offer, please just reach out to me. I can give you some great advice on some things you can do to protect yourself in those situations. Anyway, here we are now, 500 to 600, just one step up on the price. 23.94% of the market is right in that price point, and that is considered an affordable price point, especially for semi-detached. And these are actually, I like them. There's a lot of the semi-detached they're every bit as nice, if not nicer, than some of the detached houses out there. Builders have done a great job now of really making a fine product when it comes to semi-detached, and obviously the market is okay with buying them too. And 18% are 600,000 to 700,000. And interestingly enough, when you get into the inner city, which is, you get into this more luxury semi-detached market here, 800,000 all the way up to 1.5 million. And isn't this something else to see that $1 million to $1.5 million is 9%, 9.21? There's actually more properties sold now here than even 900 to $1 million. And even getting up to the $800,000 to $900,000 price range. So incredible demand for this. And I live in Altadore, and so I'm around these inner city properties all the time, and I've sold so many of them over the years. And I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to semi-detached inner city. You do have to be very careful which one you buy, but there is some fantastic builders and some fantastic product. But I will tell you, I've seen some horror stories as well. So that's another one to reach out to me for if you're considering inner city too, because I can give you some guidance around that, because for 25 years I have been selling a lot of inner city property. All right, the final is our detached market, 86.78%. So almost 87% of all the detached houses that were listed got sold. And we're up 1.41% on pricing from April. And year over year, we're at 13.3% from May of 23, hitting a benchmark price now of $761,800. And it's pretty amazing, because I remember in 2022 I said that Calgary would hit $750 as a benchmark price, and I was right, and now we've surpassed it, and we're on our way to $800,000 as a benchmark price. And I do think that we're going to get there, because when you've got an absorption rate of 86.78% and a market that just doesn't have enough inventory, and we have people continuing to move here, and real estate is in high demand, and now we're looking at a interest rate has dropped, all of that put together, I think we're going to continue to see these price increases for sure. So this would be a great time to be buying property. And of course, some people have said to me, is a good time to sell. Yeah, this could be a great time to sell as well. And especially if you're going to be looking at moving your money into something else. I don't think you want to really necessarily get out of the market, but it's a great time to be selling and buying something else. 1,385 sold out of 1,596. So very strong, 18 days on the market. But don't forget that includes if there's conditions. So a lot of these properties are selling within 7 days. It's amazing how many sell within even just a few days. And that's why you need a strategy when you're trying to buy these houses. It's a very, very fierce competition, and you've got to have a strategy. You have to be working with someone who really knows how to navigate this. Because believe me, there's a lot of real estate agents that have just never seen a market like this, and they're like a deer in headlights. So there's just no strategy whatsoever. It's amazing what I see out there. So like I said, if you're going to be successful at buying in this kind of market and even selling, there's a myth I think that a lot of sellers think, well, nowadays I can just so easy to sell. Yeah, it's easy to sell, but for what price? There's also strategies on maximizing your sale price, and don't be afraid to reach out to me for those kind of questions as well. By the way, I wrote a book called Selling Secrets You Can't Afford to Miss, and I have a lot of really good information in this book on how to navigate a market like this. I also have a book for buyers on how to buy your dream house without overpaying. So you can reach out to me, and I will be happy to get you a copy of my book. I can send it to you digitally, or I even have it in a paperback copy. And for those people who reach out to me from this video, I am totally okay with dropping it in the mail, or you can even stop by my office if you actually want one that's physical. Anyway, get back to the market distribution. 600 to 700, of course, that's the sweet spot. But this is going to be the sweet spot pretty soon, because we still have a lot of product in that $600,000 to $700,000 price range. I mean, there's still houses that you can buy in Calgary for that price range, but you can see the 700 to 800 is now becoming the real sweet spot. And this market continues to be amazing. 9.91%. That's $1 million to $1.5 million. Even here, look at 141 properties have sold this year, between 1.5 and 2 million. 70 have sold over 2 million this year. So we have a really strong luxury market as well. And we do a lot of luxury, and our Coldwell Banker Global Luxury brand really supports that. And we've been really successful at selling a lot of these luxury properties to people coming from Ontario. And I think that's going to continue as well. So let's wrap up the video by saying this. First of all, I hope the information has been extremely helpful to you. And just one last plug-in, send me an email, send me a text, Facebook Messenger, whatever way you like to communicate. And feedback is great, but by all means, reach out to me for questions. And I want to make this really clear. I don't care what your timeline is, even if you're a ways away before you might sell a house or before you might buy a house and you're at the information gathering stage, perfectly okay with me. We are here to give you the information to make some decisions. These decisions are big, and sometimes people are very early in the stages of making those decisions, and they just like to gather as much information as they possibly can, and we're totally okay with that. So that's we'll wrap it up now, and don't forget, July 6th is our Stampede breakfast as well at our office, and there will be a video going out on that. I'm going to send an email out for that, and but put it in your calendar. It's going to be great. Face painting for the kids. It's going to be 8 in the morning till noon at our office, 6420 6A Street Southeast, and in the back. And it's going to be just so much fun. Last year we had like 400 people come. We had music. We had so many people there had a great time. So put it on your calendar, and we'll see you in July.